I'm back to Judas Priest. This is going to be the third Judas Priest episode in this series. I started with Defenders of the Faith a couple of months ago and did Rock and Roll maybe about a month ago. And today, as you can see in the title, I'm going to do Hellbent for Leather. And if you want a little bit of insight into how I choose the records that I'm going to talk about, it's often, I think more often than not, it's just I feel like talking about it. It's an album that I've been listening to. I think I'd like to talk about it. But today, the reason I chose to do Hellbent for Leather today is because, let me explain, I was going to say quickly, let me try to explain quickly. The way that I listen to music is I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 songs downloaded onto my phone that I've downloaded and meticulously organized on my phone. And I listen to most of my music on my phone. I do listen to these records sometimes, of course. But what I often do is I get a kind of a craving to hear one song. I play it, and then I put it on random or shuffle, and then it just plays random songs out of the 10,000. And very recently, so I don't always know the songs that it plays, even though they're in my collection. It's maybe songs I'm not familiar with for whatever reason. And very recently, I did this, and a song came on, and it was a song from this album, from Hellbent for Leather, that came on. And I recognized it right away as Judas Priest, but I didn't know what album it was from. I didn't know what song it was from. What song it was. And it inspired me to talk about this record. And I will get to that song very shortly or at some point in this video. I will talk about it. But that was what motivated me to do Hellbent for Leather today. Now, this is similar to Rock and Roll. I had never heard this album ever until today. I've heard, and I'm very familiar with 3 songs. You can probably guess which 3 songs those are. But and I knew at least one of these songs by title. I think it's a Judas Priest staple. But there are 11 songs on this record. I'd only heard 3 of them. 8 of them were new. So I gotta go to the notes. All right, I listened to it and I took some notes. Now, normally at this time, this is when I talk about my general thoughts about the record, and then I go to the track by track. I'm going to do it a little bit differently today, just to mix it up a little bit. So right now, I'm going to start with the track by track. First of all, I'm going to, I guess I'll open it first, and then I'll go through it track by track because I don't know what to expect here. Let's see. All right, there's no, as you can see, there's no, and this is it, by the way, there's no hype sticker. This is called Killing Machine. Now, you can see here, I said I was going to get to the track by track, and maybe that's going to take longer than I thought. This is called Killing Machine. Before I do get to the track by track, I've always known this record as Hellbent for Leather. Apparently, it was called Killing Machine, I guess, in the UK. I'm not sure why they switched to Hellbent for Leather. Smart move. I'll talk about that a little bit in the track by track. Much better move calling this album Hellbent for Leather. So now to I'll finish opening up, then the track by track. I think once I do the track by track, you'll get an idea of what I think about this album in general. So there it is, a nice matte finish to this record. And there they are, looking a little bit un-Judas Priest, how I knew them. There's Bobby Halford. He's sporting a little bit of a beard there. And this is Les Binks on drums. And you know everyone else, KK Downing, Glenn Tipton, and Ian Hill. Let's see this. All right, it's the same thing, the inner sleeve. The lyrics, I appreciate it. I'm very happy. Just give me that and the lyrics, and I'm good. Although I have to say, it's very hard to read red text on a black background. And the record, I'm sure, is just black. Yes, it is black. All right, and it's got the album cover also on the label, and there it is there. All right, so I will get to this track by track right the fuck now. All right, let me put this down, and let me get my notes. So the opening track on Hellbent for Leather is Delivering the Goods. Now this one, I love this song. This is one of the ones I've known for many, many years. I would even say it's not the first Judas Priest song I ever heard. That was, I think, You Got Another Thing Coming. I had that single in 1982, I guess it was. But I heard Delivering the Goods in 83 or 84 on one of these late night metal shows that I used to, the Friday and Saturday metal shows. I used to tape and catalog every song meticulously, and I had Delivering the Goods on one of those mixtapes. This is a great song. It's a rocking song. It's a slamming song. This song is everything that I like about Judas Priest. If every Judas Priest song were like this, Judas Priest would be at the top of my list of favorite bands. As it stands now, they're not. Feeling. I'm getting excited. Feeling like we're gonna kick tonight. No hesitating, body's aching, looking for some action satisfaction, all right. I love Delivering the Goods. Top 5 maybe Judas Priest song. It kind of goes downhill from there. The next song is, I thought it was called Rock Fever, but it's called Rock Forever. A little bit, and remember, I hadn't heard this song until today. It has kind of an unexpected opening riff. It's kind of a boogie-ish riff, and then as the song goes in, it's very un-Judas Priest-like. Boogie woogie a little bit. Cheesy lyrics, kind of a cheesy song, and I think this song is a good example. Everybody always compares Priest and Maiden. They're the two British kind of classic metal bands, along with Saxon, although Saxon was clearly a level below Priest and Maiden. And Maiden had some bad songs too, some cheesy songs. Quest for Fire, even later, that was on Peace of Mind. And I'm not saying that Maiden was perfect, because Maiden had some pretty shitty albums too, and really shitty songs. But I think this was maybe why, for me and maybe other people, Priest was still writing these kind of rock and roll anthem. AC/DC can get away with that. I don't know if anybody else can. But I think this song illustrates the difference why Maiden went and still is at the next level, and Priest these days is very low level. I think songs like this, Rock Fever, or Rock Forever, if you want to call it Rock Forever. I think I will always call it Rock Fever. The next song is Evening Star. It has that, I guess, kind of a quiet intro. It's okay. And then, nothing special about that song. Also, I think it seems kind of cheesy. Next song is the title track, Hell Bent for Leather. This is a great song. This is similar to Delivering the Goods. It doesn't sound like Delivering the Goods, but this is the kind of Judas Priest that I like. Hell Bent for Leather is, it's a real rock song. I'll talk about this as the title track when I get to the Killing Machine song. But this has, and I think I heard there are some double bass in the pre-chorus, of Hell Bent for Leather. Maybe this was 78, Overkill by Motorhead was 79. Is that Les Binks doing some bass drum? I don't know if I can double bass. I don't know if I can identify these things, but I think I can. But yeah, Hell Bent for Leather, the title track, is an excellent song. Now we're on the track 5. Now this is called Take on the World, and I mentioned in my intro that there was a song that came on when I was listening to my 10,000 songs on random, and that made me want to. That's why I'm talking about Hell Bent for Leather now, and it was this song, Take on the World. And the reason that it motivated me to talk about it is because I thought, this is fucking shit. The fucking worst song. This is like Peter Criss level crap. Just an awful song. These kind of the big drum sound, the big anthemic chorus. To me, it kind of reminded me of I don't know if it's because of the time of the year. It sounded like a Christmas song, like just very. And together we can take on all the world. Did I write anything else about that song? Yeah, and just the drums sound really shitty. They sound, I don't know if they sound, and that was kind of similar to Heavy Duty or Defenders of the Faith. But Take on the World is fucking garbage. Just a shit song. Seriously, tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why you think Take on the World is a great song. Because I think it's shit. Like, I listened to this song, and this is the first Judas Priest song anybody had ever heard, even if you're a metal fan. I think there's no way you would continue to listen to Judas Priest or listen to this album. It's garbage. And I can forgive, a lot of bands that I like, great bands. When you look back on their early stuff, you think, okay, it wasn't that good. And then they became great. And this was Priest's, was it around their fifth album? Rock'n'Rolla was first, Sin After Sin was second. I don't know, The Order Stained Class was before this. Was Point of Entry? I think Point of Entry was after this. I can't remember. But no, Take on the World is a fucking shit, garbage Peter Criss song. Terrible, just the worst. I hate it. It's seriously such a bad song, I think. All right, so then the next song, which is the first song on the second side, is Burnin' Up. Nothing caught my attention here. I guess it was a little bit catchy. The lyrics are awful, just like they were on Rock Fever and some other songs on this album. Burnin' Up. Next is Green Manalishi, or the full title is The Green Manalishi with the Two-Pronged Crown. And I have no idea what the fuck a Manalishi is and why it's green. And I don't know what a two-pronged crown is, but I like this song. This is another one that I'd heard years and years ago, decades ago. And I know it's a Fleetwood Mac cover. I think it's an excellent cover. I think it sounds like a real Judas Priest song. I think this is how Judas Priest should sound. It's a metal song. And Cadaver, I talked about Cadaver a week or two ago. By far my favorite band of the last 30 years. I know they're a more recent band. Cadaver did a cover of Green Manalishi also. Very different than the original and very different than Priest's version. So if you're watching this, and I don't think too many people are watching at this point, and you like Judas Priest and you like the Green Manalishi, maybe check out Cadaver's cover of the Green Manalishi with the Two-Pronged Crown. Next is Killing Machine. Now this is the I guess officially, where is it? As it says right here, it is called Killing Machine. It also says it back there, Killing Machine. First of all, let me before I get to that, what did I think of this song? It's just another song that didn't catch my attention at all. It's got some Hitman lyrics. He's the Hitman, I guess, is the Killing Machine. This one, I think I also noticed some double bass at the very, very end. And now getting to the title track, whether it's Killing Machine or Hellbent for Leather. Hellbent for Leather is a way, way, way better title for this album. First of all, based on the album cover itself. This album looks like a Hellbent for Leather, Hellbent for Leather, Hellbent for Leather. I'm losing track of my gimmick. It's hard to remember to say that every time. And also, the title track, what I know is the title track, Hellbent for Leather, it's become an iconic Priest song. It's been in their set list probably forever. It's a song that Rob Halford comes out on the motorcycle to that song. I don't know why they changed it. Killing Machine, it's not representative of this album. Hellbent for Leather is not just the song, but the title is a better representation of this record, I think. Next is Running Wild. I need to go back to the notes. This is the one that I mentioned earlier that I knew this by title. I think this is a highly regarded Judas Priest song. I think it's been in their set list always or over the years, I think, in and out. It's one of the better ones on an album that's not that great for me. Clearly, and I'm sure everybody in Judas Priest land knows this already. I didn't, because I'd never heard this song until today. Totally, now The Wicker Man by Iron Maiden on Brave New World, I guess, to me, pretty blatantly took from Running Wild. Now, so to me, Running Wild reminded me of The Wicker Man, but obviously The Wicker Man came out 22 years after Running Wild. Yeah, Running Wild, it's pretty good. This also has, I think, some double bass at the very end, similar to Killing Machine and in the middle of Hellbent for Leather. Two more. Before the Dawn is next. Kind of a quiet acoustic, very un-Judas Priest-like song, similar to, what's that song on Rock'n'Rolla? I can't remember, but I wasn't expecting that from Judas Priest. But also, just nothing that really caught my attention there. And then, same with the last song, Evil Fantasies. It's got these big drums, which I think sounds really shitty. The drum sounds on this album, on some songs anyway, sound really shitty. It's an anthemic song. I do kind of like the vocal, the very growling vocal, but also this song, there was nothing really about it that caught my attention. Evil Fantasies. So now I'll go back and give my overall impressions of this album. This album is kind of making me question my decision to try to go back and get into Judas Priest. As I mentioned when I did Defenders of the Faith, I was never a big Judas Priest fan, and I wanted to correct that. So after listening to this, and Rock-A-Rolla was not so great either, although Rock-A-Rolla was their first album, and it's kind of understandable. Honestly, like listening to this album, I don't know why Judas Priest became the big heavy metal icons that they became. There's not really anything impressive about, we associate metal with guitar, and there's no guitar on this album that made me think, yeah, that's fucking metal, man. That's Judas Priest. That's what I want when I listen to metal. It's just unspectacular. The sound is not that good. Rob Halford's vocals, I hate Painkiller. I was out with my friend Dallas at a bar in Mexico City last week, and Painkiller came on, and I said, I hate this song, and he loves it. I don't like those Rob Halford, King Diamond vocals. I like his vocals on some of the songs that I mentioned here, but this album really makes me wonder, is Judas Priest that much better than Saxon, who really, really got left behind? Clearly Maiden is at the top of the heap with those three British metal bands. But yeah, Killing Machine or Hellbent for Leather, it's pretty unspectacular to me. I hope it gets better, because I still do have quite a few JP albums to get through, but this one just didn't do it for me. Yeah, I don't know. So that's it. So this is whatever you prefer to call it. I prefer Hellbent for Leather. Some of you may prefer this by the official title, Killing Machine. In any case, I think this album is pretty good. There you go, Judas Priest.